Welcome to Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. Before we begin, as it warned us, all characters in this game are 18 or older, even though they look like little toddlers. Except for the one. She looks like she might be 18. But, yes, I've heard this game apparently is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. It's not... I don't know. I honestly haven't seen much of it, but it's supposed to be like a psychological horror dating sim thing. So... we're gonna try, because I've had, like 10 people ask me to play this. Even before I did any dating. Individuals suffering from anxiety or depression may not have a positive experience playing this game. Whew, that's setting me up for trouble, isn't it? Is PTSD gonna get in this too? Would you like to review detailed content warning, which contains spoilers? Alternately, in-game content warning can be enabled. No, thank you. I'll be surprised. By playing Doki Doki Literature Club, you agree that you have noted the game's age rating in your region and consent to your exposure of highly disturbing content. I agree. Alright, I'm getting no sound. Let me... there it is. Okay. Let's see, music. I think we're okay. New game. Please enter your name. Use only letters, hyphens, and apostrophes. I don't know. Am I a girl or a boy in this game? Or is it indifferent? It's a guy. Someone just said, you find out at the end, and so I ended up with this buff guy named Sarah. That was funny. Okay, we'll just go with Cade. Why can't we be lesbians? It'd be funner. I don't know what voice to do. Hey! I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today. But it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up with me. I overslept again. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like we're thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Cade. Well, if people start to stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine, fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to the school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Cade, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did. It's one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sarah likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. What is a NEET? You trust me, right? Don't make me worry about you. Alright, alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside her own head. Also, I'm very aware that I add words that are not there, but it's just flows better in my head if I add it. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. I also know sometimes I'll take a sentence and make it mean the same thing, but I'll change the words to make it mean that as I read. I'm starting to think more and more as I read from games that I have a little bit of dyslexia. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wanted me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize I'm not the only one left in the class. Oh, I am the only one left around in the class. Who's dinging me? I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know. You know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There's no way I'm going to your club. Meanie! Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was one of the first to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title of vice president. I hate the pink background right now. Can I change that? Am I able to change that? That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please! Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kinda told the club yesterday I'd bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's just cunning as to have planned this all out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go! And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly followed Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure to meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Cade, what a surprise! Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. Meh. I hate the pink hair. I hate pink hair. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is the one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. I don't know who's talking. Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly in my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, that's Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monika, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Cade. Monika smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monika was probably the most popular girl in class, smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so gently feels a little... You too, Monika. Come on, sit down, Cade. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monika. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them! I'll get them! Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monika and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Wah! Natsuki lifts the foil of the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icings, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monika follow. I follow. No, then Monika, I follow. It's delicious! Sayori talks with her mouth full, and it's delicious! And already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. I thought you technically did, Sayori said. Well, maybe. But not for you, no. You, dummy. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places the teacup in front of me. Blah, 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 blah. She carefully places the teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom? Don't worry, the teacher gives us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? A good book. I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monika raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monika that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... That's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monika, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Were you a leader of debate club last year? Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monika really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised that there aren't many people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like festivals that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monika must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were so all delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Kate, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few days, I really don't have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsui's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Hey, Justin. Yeah, it seemed like it was only doing the distortion through my headphone. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I just grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For some reason, for someone as gentle as you, I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror! Oh, why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. Oh, that's right! You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud! And give it back! Fine, fine. Your cupcakes, your poems. Everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sari sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hand on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing for oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. This is true. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it'll help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Kate? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made a decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But... I'm sorry, I thought... Cade... You all... I am defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That's it. That is, if writing poems is a price they need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light like how they just jumped back up. Oh, I froze again! When did I freeze?